Hey everyone, welcome back to CyberSecurityTV. Today we're going to talk about the top 5 IT security certifications 2020. I have so many questions and requests coming up last year about the what are the certification that I recommend to get started, or maybe someone who had a good decent experience in the security. So we're going to talk about the mix of certification which will help you to progress towards your career. So please hit the like button if you like this video, and do not forget to follow me on Facebook to get the regular updates. Alright, so the first one we're gonna talk about is the GSEC. It's a GISA Security Essential Certification. Now this is offered by the GIAC, and this certification is, I would say, mostly suited for the people who wants to get into or get started into the cybersecurity, because the topics which are covered in the certification are very basics, and of course it helps for the someone who wants to get started, like going through this topic, understand what the security is in the different components of the security, and hopefully then they can have more complex certification. Now the topics which are covered is something like security concepts and technologies. So as it sounds, this would cover like an access control, authentication, and password management. The next one is networking concept and technologies. So this will cover like a network scanning, network attacking, then addressing, like an IP addressing, and all those basic stuff over the network. Then we have the Windows security. So this talks about the Windows services, user rights management, and then securities and permissions and all those things. Now Linux security topic would cover a little bit about the basics and fundamentals on what is the Linux configurations and security tools and utilities and processes and service management. As we all know, the Windows and Linux process management differs. So if you are more curious to go towards like a network security, or maybe sort of like a researcher role, then these are some of the good topics to read on. Then it also covered the attack types, so things like viruses and malicious code, like a backdoor, and how do you attack, and what are the countermeasures, and all those things. And last is cryptography, which talks about the basics of what the cryptography is, steganography, public key infrastructure, and some fundamentals of the cryptography. So as you can see, that there are some like basic fundamental topics covered by this cert. Now the job position for this job position which requires this cert, or maybe help you to get started in that position, is IT specialist, technician, analyst, consultants, and administrator. You can prepare a couple ways for this certification. One, you can go to the Security Essential Bootcamp, so SANS provides that. If this is something that you're just getting started with, that bootcamp is the right choice. Or you can also have this all-in-one exam guide, which will help. You can just do the self-study, read at your own pace, and appear for the exam. Uh, it has 3 years of validation, and then if you still want to continue, you have to earn 36 CPEs every year, and you can get all the details on how to earn the CPEs on their website. The average salary is 90,000, but again it depends on where you are geographically located. Now the second cert we want to talk about, the CEH. So this is again a cert, I would say, for the starters, like who want to get into the cybersecurity, because it talks about the different fundamental topics which will give you the exposure with all the options that you have as an as a starter available to you, because cybersecurity is so huge, you might not be able to get expert in all of them. So you may want to pick and choose your area of expertise, or you like the most, and then you can go towards it. And that's what CH provides. Like, it gives you all the details, and then you can decide, okay, this is what I like the most. So this one is offered by the EC Council, and the topics is covered like footprinting and recognition. So it's like information gathering that you have when you're doing the penetration testing, then scanning, how to scan the network, how do you enumerate. This is a really big like, this sounds very basic, but this is really important. System hacking, malware threats, network traffic sniffing, social engineering attacks, session hijacking, hijacking web servers. So it also talks about not just the network but the applications as well. So hijacking web applications and SQL injection is one of the web application attack. So it talks about all those different things, and what tools you can use during each of these enumeration, and how do you use it, which one is better than the other one, and all those things it will teach you. The position that you can apply for the CEH is like IT auditors, technician, analyst, administrator, and architect. So these are the some of the job positions that might require the CEH certification. How you prepare for the CEH? So there is a all-in-one exam guide which you can read at your own pace. There is a version 9 study guide. Again you can read it at your own pace, and then I would highly recommend to go for the practice test, because it has some really, will set you up for the real exam. It has some good question answers, so you can get a good practice. Again, this has a 3 years validation. So once you pass the exam, these are multiple choice questions, just like a GSEC. So yeah, there'll be 4 answers for each questions presented to you. You choose the right one, and then and I think the passing score is 70%. So that's how you pass the exam. The average salary is 80K, which is not bad for someone who just got started. The only thing is, the prerequisite is you should have IT experience of 2 years before you apply for the certification, or there's an option you have to take the official CS training. So let's say if you have just got started into the IT, you do not have any IT experience, you could go to the training and still get the cert. Or if you have the experience, then you don't have to go through the training. You just have to you can read the book and pass the exam and get the cert. So that's how the CH works. Alright, so next one. So now we'll deep dive into a little bit more advanced certification. So this one is the OSCP. So someone, let's say, who has 3, 4, 2, 3 years of decent penetration testing experience. So this is well suited for them, and this I would highly recommend if you want to pursue your career into the penetration testing, or if you want to get into more technical, then this is like a must-have certification for you. So exam is different. We saw in GSEC and CH it's like a multiple choice questions. It's not like this. Here you have the 24-hour lab penetration test, and yeah, 24 hours, that means you can utilize all the 24 hours to pass the exam. You can sleep 8 hours and still work remaining, I would say, 16 hours for the exam. No matter how you do it, you would be given 24 hours to pass the exam. The recommended skills here, you should know about the info gathering and enumeration. So we saw in CEH they talk about how to do info gathering and enumeration, so you can use some of those tools and apply here. Then you should also know how to write the scripts or build the tools to facilitate penetration testing, because sometimes the tools that are out there might not help you in your scenario. So you need to know some sort of a scripting language so you can build your own tool. You have to have ability to identify and exploit the web vulnerabilities. So in CH we saw there's like a web app server vulnerabilities and SQL injection, and talks about all those things. So you should know how to exploit these vulnerabilities. And then bypass the firewall and tunneling techniques. That's again one of the skill that's required. And then creative problem solving and lateral thinking skills. Now based on that, you must have got idea of how I wouldn't say it's difficult, it's just that it's different from all the other exam. And I have always been a fan of the offensive security certifications. So this is one of the most popular certification for anyone who wants to get a pen test, because if you pass this exam, it doesn't mean you just know theory, because they will make you try all the things that you have learned from theory and your practical experience. Use all your tooling and techniques and all your skills to find these vulnerabilities and attack and penetrate those services. So that's why it's a really valuable certification for someone who wants to build their career into pen test should have. Job positions is similar, sort of like IT specialist, technician, analyst, consultants. And when I say IT security consultant, that's part of the pen tester, because consultant could be of several types. And then again, you have the pen testers as well. Now, how do you prepare for the OSCP? So, of course, you cannot just read the book and pass the exam, but then still there is a playbook which you can practice guide to pen testing. Then there is a pen testing or a hands-on introduction to hacking, and then there is a hacker's handbook. So these are some recommendation, but what I would recommend on top of this is they also provide a lab environment for a month or 90 days or something, so you can have those lab and take the exams. Before taking the exams, you practice on the labs. It will give you immense confidence on how the real test would be like. The good thing about this certification, once you pass this, and you deserve this, it never expires. So once you pass this, you have it forever. And the average salary, 90K. Again, it says 90K as per the job market right now, but I'm sure you could get more than that if you are really truly technical and you have skills to pass this exam. Prerequisite, you have to complete the offense security penetration testing with the Kali Linux training course. So the lab I was talking about, it's built into this training. So anyway, you have to go through this, and that's I like it's a prerequisite because it's very much required. Otherwise, you might not have any idea when you just enroll for the test. You might have no idea how to pass this exam or what to look for. And sometimes during the exam, you might get lost. Like during this 24 hours of test period, you might get lost. What should I do? I would highly recommend to take a quiet time for 10-15 minutes and come back and then start work again. You might get some new idea on how to exploit some of the services. So but yeah, there are just so many forums out there to talk about and study group that how they prepare for the OSCP. Alright, so next one is the CISSP. Now this is on the list for a while. This has been a popular certification past so many years. This one is offered by ISC Square, and it tests the design and management knowledge of an IT security program. So if you are a manager, or if you want to be a manager where you have to manage the security program, and this is the right cert for you. So how this is different than all the other certs? So the key difference here is it touches on all the domains of the security, but it's more of like a theory. It's not like an OSCP where you go and do anything hands-on. This is a multiple choice question type of exam, but advanced level. So that we will see in the prerequisite again. So topics is covers like a security and risk management, asset security, social security engineering, communication network security, identity and access management, security assessment testing, security operations, and software development security. So as you have seen, we are touching on different domains during the certification, and each of them is part of the cybersecurity somewhere or another. So that's why they give you exposure to everything. Now, job position is IT analyst, consultants, manager, and directors. How you prepare for the CISSP? If you have enough experience into working into the IT security domain, then I would say you could just read the all-in-one exam guide, 7th edition, or you can also have like professional official study guide by CISSP. And then there's a CISSP study guide. So you can have all these books, read through it, and you can pass the exam. On top of this, what I highly recommend is to take some practice test. So I know there are a bunch of them out there. They give you like a guarantee that you take the exam, you take the practice test and pass the exam. Of course, none of those like guaranteed, but at least it gives you good confidence when you actually sit in the exam. And I think the exam is about 4 hours. They might have changed since I have taken last time, but yeah, that's my guess. Again, this is a 3-year validation, and if you have to, if you want to keep it after 3 years, you have to renew it through the CPE. It's not that difficult. You can find the details on the ISSP website. The average salary is 110K because this is more of an advanced level of certification. That's why this is an again this is an average salary. Someone could also get like 180, 190 based on their experience. Now, prerequisite is there has to be 5 years of experience required, and that's why I said at the start, if you have a recent experience into the IT security, then you want to go for the certification, and this is sort of like an a must-have certification for any cybersecurity person who wants to work in the cyber or develop their career into cybersecurity. Not this is not going might not help on day-to-day job, but this will surely help on your resume. So, and even today, if you go through most of the job description or job requirement for the security, you would find CISSP on there. And next one, we're gonna talk about the CISM. This is Certified Information Security Manager. This one is offered by ISACA. So there is a CISA and CISM. CISA is the auditor, and this is the manager. So CISA is more of like a starter, and CISM is more of a managerial. This is somewhat similar to CISSP. So if you are experienced and you want to go towards the more of a managerial role, then yes, this is what you may want to aim for. So it covers the same thing: IT security management principles. This is an advanced certification, and topics it includes information security governance, information risk management compliance, information security program development and management. Now, one thing you must have noticed here, the CISSP was touching on the different domains, on not just like this is heavily on the compliance and risk management and governance risk and compliance, while the CISSP is more mix of technicals and a little bit of compliance. So that's the difference. So if you are having on compliance like ISO and SOC and PCI and HIPAA and GDPR and all those things, then CISM is right for you. Otherwise, CISSP is better for you. Now, the job position for CISM is the IT manager, IT auditors, security consultants, auditors, and the architects. Now, how do you prepare for the CISM? So again, this is a multiple choice question answer exam. So you can have the CISM review manual, which is like a Bible for from the ISACA. Then I highly recommend going through the question, answer, and explanation. I think along with the review manual, you will get some practice exam, but if you feel you need some more, you can get somewhere from the outside. There's so many vendor offers the practice test. And then there is a exam study community. I remember when I took the CISA, there was a once study group on LinkedIn that I was part of, and it helped me a lot to keep me on track and everything. Again, this has 3 years of validation. You can of course keep renewing it by earning more CPAs every year. And the average salary is 130K. Again, it vastly depends on how which geographical location and what's your overall experience is. The prerequisite, because this is advanced certification, you require to have 5 years of IT security experience, or 3-year IT experience. I think there's a typo here, or 3 years of IT security management experience. So this is the CISM, how it works is you can pass the exam. Let's say you pass the exam and you do not have IT security experience when you pass the exam. What you can do is you can wait, you can get the experience, and then you can apply for the certification, and then you don't have to give the exam again, but based on your reference and everything, the reference that you have provided, that now you have enough experience, they will award you the certification. So that's how it works. So that's pretty much it I wanted to cover in this video. I hope it helps on and helps you, guide you how you want to pursue your career, how you want to go towards your career. I know there are just so many options out there. I just chose the best 5 that I think might work. I know there are so many alternatives out there for everyone. So again, based on your base judgment, please choose. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment here, and I'll be more than happy to answer you. I think, yeah, that's it from me. Please hit the like button if you enjoy watching this video, and subscribe to my channel for more videos, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.